When was the first time you heard of Kool Keith?
I mean, the thing with that is I probably heard his music, but I don't know. But I mean, I've heard Keith.
But you've heard his name before.
I've heard his name. Oh, yeah. Of course.
So Kool Keith has been one of my favorite MCs since I was in middle school, maybe. Starting with Dr. Octagon, which is produced by Dan the Automator, who's also produced, a lot of other great hip hop albums like Deltron 3030, Gorillaz. He's done a lot of stuff. But the album he did with Kool Keith, Dr. Octagon, it's on the list, and I hope it comes up soon because I love that album. But
I listened to that a while back. I didn't realize Kool Keith was on that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And Kool Keith, I've known Kool Keith from features as well. He was on the Prodigy album, The Fat of the Land. Not the Prodigy in hip hop, the Prodigy, the electronic group from England.
Oh, I was thinking Mobb Deep.
Yeah, so Kool Keith is on a song called Diesel Power. And the rhyming he does on that is very similar to his rhyming on this album. And he actually mentions Diesel Power in this album. And then he did a song with the Prodigy. You should listen to that song. It's dope. It's basically mixing this kind of rhyming with electronic bass beats. And I was listening to the Prodigy when I was in elementary school. So I've known about Kool Keith for a long time. And Kool Keith, I think, is one of the pioneers of hip hop. He still puts out albums regularly. I think he's super dope. He has I think he has classic albums. Sex Style, I think, is a classic. Dr. Octagon is a classic for sure. So yeah, I think he's super influential, and I don't think enough people talk about him in hip hop currently. And I'm sure some of his other albums will pop up on the podcast in the future, so we can go over that more. But I had never listened to any of the Ultramagnetic stuff, even though I was a huge fan of Kool Keith and I had heard about Ultramag. I never got into it or got around to listening to it. And I'm not sure why, but I'm glad this album came up for the podcast because I was excited to listen to it.
I'm always interested and excited to listen to stuff that's older than, or as old as me, than me, especially in hip hop, hearing some stuff that what is part of that foundational groundwork to what we're listening to today. Like, it's always cool to go back in time and see where it all came from. So yeah, whenever you hear someone's influence, I feel like Kool Keith is always in someone's influence.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he like I said, he pioneered things. He pioneered probably the kind of horrorcore rap, which started on this album. Some of the songs he talks a lot about brains, and
it's a lot of brains, a lot of ears.
Yeah, it's a lot of weird stuff that no one else was rhyming about at that time. And they took a lot of flack for it, and they got a lot of negative press because of that, because it was weird and different. But today, there's countless hip hop artists that rap like that. And then later on, you would have groups like the Gravediggers with RZA and Prince Paul, who it was all about horrorcore rap. And it was just about murdering and killing and that kind of violence and things like that. But Kool Keith definitely started that style of rapping.
So Matt, for your main thoughts that we always talk about at the end, what are some things that you're going to be, like when you read a paper and then there's like the synopsis kind of at the beginning, what kind of things are we going to be looking for from you when you talk about your thoughts at the end?